There are 4 diseases of the left hand that almost every guitar player contracts right from the beginning of their playing the guitar. And of course, it's because of not knowing certain things, which lead to incorrect practice, which builds in bad habits right from the beginning. These bad habits continue on through all our playing and really limit or destroy so much of our playing ability. So we really want to get rid of them if we have them and not get them in the first place if we're just starting. So the first of these finger diseases is finger squeeze. Now, finger squeeze means that as I place a finger down on a string, the other fingers are going to come and squeeze toward that finger, especially, of course, the one adjacent to it. This happens with every pair of muscles, and especially the third and the fourth, which is why so many people believe they can't control their fourth finger, because every time they put the 3 down, the 4 tenses up and comes over like this. Now, this is all due to incorrect approach, and which leads to the lack of development of the muscles in the hand itself. So that is finger squeeze, the inability to have separation during the operation of the fingers. The next is finger rise, and that means that as I place a finger down, other fingers, and it's usually the middle finger, is going to go up in the air. Okay, now up in the air, of course, is the opposite direction of where we need the finger. So what happens is we're playing and we need that finger and it's up in the air, and of course it's tense up in the air, and then we fight to get it back down, and then tension goes right through the body and the game is over. So you have finger rise added to finger squeeze. Now the next disease is finger shock. Now finger shock is much more subtle, because finger shock is something that really affects us mostly at very high speeds, even after we've gotten over those other 2 diseases. And finger shock means that as I place a finger down, the finger next to it is just going to go through a slight isometric contraction. It's not even going to move, and you have to look at it very, very closely and really examine it and watch it to see this slight tension going through the muscles connected to these bones that are that finger, or whatever finger it is. And it will get this slight isometric contraction, which of course goes all the way to the elbow, because that's where the muscles originate that connect to the finger, at least some of the muscles. And that finger shock, that isometric contraction, will make that finger unavailable. As I said, that is what you're going to find as you examine a lot of the problems that you're going to have with playing scales at very fast speeds. And the last problem is can be a problem in many playing situations, but it's mostly a problem. It'll show itself mostly in hammers, and it is finger grab. And finger grab is the tendency of the first finger in a hammer. Say if I'm hammering 1 to 4, it's the tendency of the first finger to be down to increase its pressure as the second one goes down. So if I'm doing something like that, it means that this is not going to maintain a constant pressure, or actually it's really working, Diana. It is slightly changing its pressure with this if we were to get really microscopic about it. But what it means is that it's out of control, and it just starts, it's down, and then as the other finger goes down, it just starts grabbing harder in response to that one going down. Again, that's a disease of the left hand that is much more of a subtle variety and takes a really close microscopic examination to uncover and to eliminate. But those are the 4 diseases of the left hand, and we really want to make sure that we don't contract them, and we really want to make sure that if our hand already has them, which is true for probably 99% of guitar students, then we want to cure ourselves of those diseases. And of course, we do so through using all the practice methods found in the Principles of Correct Practice for Guitar. Here's a guitar principal student using practice methods found in the Principles to train all of her fingers for independence. Especially on this exercise, she's training the 4th finger, the pinky, to be independent of the 3rd finger, and that is a problem that many guitar players have. Every time they use the 3rd finger, The fourth finger squeezes up against it. She is doing what is called no tempo practice, which is a special kind of practice where we focus in a special way to gain great control over the fingers. After carefully practicing those motions slowly, Tiffany used the basic practice approach from the Principles of Correct Practice for Guitar to teach her fingers to do the same motions with the same control at a faster speed. Once we've eliminated the 4 diseases from the left hand or prevented them from taking root in the first place, all scales are easy to play with great control. Cure your fingers of the 4 common diseases of the left hand. Enjoy a new feeling of ease, power, and control on the guitar. Get your copy of the Principles of Correct Practice for Guitar today.